teeth. The mirrored walls of the Primadent Clinic gleamed under sterile, white light, reflecting smiles so perfect they looked unreal. Naomi pressed her lips together as she stepped inside, feeling small and inadequate. Her reflection, caught briefly in the polished surface, betrayed her insecurities. She knew her teeth weren't terrible, but in a world obsessed with perfection, they might as well have been crooked tombstones.
Welcome to Primadent,
chirped a receptionist with an impossibly symmetrical grin.
Do you have an appointment?
Naomi nodded, fumbling for her phone.
Yes, for 2 p.m. Naomi West.
The receptionist's eyes scanned a tablet.
Ms. West. This is your first time with us, correct?
Yes.
Naomi said, forcing a smile that felt stiff. The receptionist's gaze lingered a moment too long, her own teeth gleaming like a toothpaste commercial.
Dr. Moreland will see you shortly.
Naomi sat in the waiting area, her nerves heightening as she flipped through a glossy brochure. Phrases like "unlock your confidence" and "transform your life in just 1 hour" leapt off the pages, accompanied by glowing testimonials. I landed my dream job within days. My partner fell in love with me all over again. And I've never felt so powerful. The pages brimmed with photos of impossibly radiant smiles, their owners' eyes gleaming with a disconcerting intensity. Testimonials filled the margins, accompanied by before and after photos of people who looked like entirely new versions of themselves. Perfect smiles, perfect lives, a better job, a happier marriage. Her chest tightened. This was why she was here, wasn't it? To fix the one thing holding her back. Her boss's words from last week replayed in her mind.
You've got great ideas, Naomi, but in our industry, presentation is everything. People respond to confidence.
She hadn't been able to stop herself from glancing at her reflection in his office window, teeth pressed awkwardly together in what she hoped was a winning smile. A nearby screen displayed news about Primadent's rapid expansion. Celebrity endorsements scrolled past, actors, influencers, even politicians, all smiling with unsettling perfection. Their faces seemed eerily similar, their smiles impossibly uniform, as though they all belonged to the same carefully curated mold. Viewers, entranced by the glowing testimonials and flawless grins, praised the clinic for its brilliance, unaware of the growing undercurrent of unease. The line between genuine admiration and hypnotic influence blurred with every broadcast. Brief snippets from pundits praised the clinic for revolutionizing confidence, while detractors raised vague concerns about unnatural uniformity. Naomi dismissed them. She couldn't afford to think about that now.
Naomi West?
She looked up. A tall man in a pristine white coat smiled at her, his teeth so even they seemed unnatural.
Dr. Caleb Moreland,
he said, extending a hand.
Let's make that smile unforgettable.
Dr. Moreland's office was sterile, the kind of clean that felt more clinical than comforting. He gestured for Naomi to sit, his gaze assessing her with unnerving precision.
You've taken the first step toward perfection, Naomi,
he said, leaning forward. His voice had an almost hypnotic cadence.
The teeth are more than tools for eating or smiling. They're conduits for transformation. Imagine a world where confidence, clarity, and unity are achievable for everyone. That's our vision here at Primadent.
His words lingered, each one carefully placed like bait. Naomi's skepticism wavered.
Transformation?
She echoed.
Yes.
Dr. Moreland continued, his smile widening in a way that felt rehearsed.
Society thrives on perfection. It's what we all aspire to. At Primadent, we're not just fixing smiles, we're harmonizing individuals with a greater whole. True confidence comes from shedding imperfections, from becoming part of something larger than yourself.
The rhetoric clung to her thoughts even as she lay back in the ergonomic chair, staring at the sleek arm of the overhead light. Dr. Moreland explained the process in a soothing voice as an assistant prepared the instruments.
We'll be using what we call bioadaptive nanofilaments,
he said.
These are microscopic structures that bond with your dental enamel and adjust its shape and color. They're completely safe and permanent. No more whitening treatments, no braces, no hassle.
Naomi nodded, unsure she fully understood but too embarrassed to admit it. She wanted results, and quickly. The assistant slid a strange device over her mouth. Dr. Moreland adjusted it carefully before speaking again.
You might feel a slight warmth. That's just the filaments bonding. Relax, and let the technology do its magic.
The procedure was painless, almost disturbingly so. The warmth was brief, almost comforting. The session was over in less than an hour. When Naomi looked in the handheld mirror, her breath caught. Her teeth were perfect. Her jaw dropped as she ran her tongue over the smooth surface, marveling at the flawless alignment. A surge of pride and relief flooded her. It was as though she had shed an invisible weight she'd carried for years. But beneath the initial awe, an inexplicable tension took root. The teeth didn't just feel perfect, they felt foreign, like they didn't belong to her at all. Perfection, she thought, felt almost invasive. At first, the change was intoxicating. Her coworkers noticed immediately. Compliments poured in.
Naomi, did you do something with your teeth? Your smile is amazing.
Her boss's reaction was the most gratifying. He gave her the promotion she'd been gunning for, calling her a model of confidence. On social media, her engagement skyrocketed. Followers commented on her photos, drawn to her newfound radiance. Friends who had drifted away reconnected, eager to catch up. A former colleague even reached out with a job offer, calling her an inspiration. But then, the dreams began. In the first one, she was biting into glass. The shards scraped against her teeth, but there was no pain. Instead, she felt a bizarre satisfaction, as if breaking the glass was her purpose. She woke up sweating, her jaw aching as if she'd been grinding her teeth all night. The dreams grew stranger. Biting into metal, tearing through unyielding substances, the sensation was unnervingly satisfying, each snap of her teeth resonating like a primal release. In one dream, she chewed through bone, the brittle crunch echoing as shadowy voices whispered,
"More."
And then came the night she dreamed of biting someone, a shadowy figure whose muffled screams dissolved into the sound of her own gnashing teeth. She felt no guilt, only a terrifying, uncontrollable satisfaction as warm blood pooled between her teeth, the whispers now a deafening chant.
The teeth choose.
She tried to push the dreams aside, but they lingered, gnawing at her sanity. Each morning, she woke to new cracks in her teeth, though they remained flawless in the mirror. She began avoiding solid foods, blaming sensitivity, though the real reason felt deeper and darker. On one occasion, her hand trembled as she reached for a fork, only to drop it when her jaw clenched involuntarily. It felt as though her teeth were asserting their own will, locking her in a silent rebellion against her body. Naomi's unease deepened. During meetings, she caught herself grinding her teeth. At lunch, her appetite waned. Food didn't taste the same. Worse, she began noticing things about the others who'd visited Primadent. Their speech had a strange cadence, almost rehearsed, with unsettling pauses as though they were waiting for cues. Their smiles seemed to linger too long, even in inappropriate moments, and they often tilted their heads in unison when listening, their movements eerily synchronized. At a networking event, she met a client who had also undergone the procedure. He grinned at her, his teeth unnervingly bright, the corners of his mouth twitching slightly as though struggling to hold the expression.
Primadent, huh?
He said, his voice unnaturally even.
Changed my life?
She nodded, uneasy. His smile widened, revealing rows of teeth that seemed to shimmer under the light.
It's incredible, isn't it?
He added.
We're part of something bigger now. You'll understand soon.
Naomi's stomach churned. The synchronized murmurs of others in the room, their identical movements, made her feel trapped. What did he mean by something bigger? Desperate for answers, Naomi searched online forums late into the night. Testimonials about Primadent were overwhelmingly positive, but scattered among them were whispers of unease, threads that vanished as soon as she clicked them. The frustration gnawed at her, and paranoia settled in. Every time a page disappeared, she felt a phantom pressure in her jaw, as if her teeth were clenching on their own. Was this deliberate? Was she digging too deep? The whispers she found grew stranger, some claiming that the procedure had left their smiles alive, hungering for more. Comments about strange cravings, lost autonomy. A few users claimed to hear voices, their own teeth whispering in dreams. One phrase appeared repeatedly, "the teeth chews." Her reflection in the bathroom mirror looked alien. Her grin stretched wider than it should, the edges of her lips trembling as if something underneath was trying to surface. Her jaw twitched unnaturally, a faint clicking sound emanating from her teeth as if they were shifting on their own. The muscles in her face ached with the strain of holding a smile that didn't feel hers, the unnatural movement sending shivers down her spine. Her teeth gleamed unnaturally, their perfection now grotesque. She smashed the mirror, shards scattering across the sink. As she stared into the broken fragments, her reflection moved independently, lips curling into a grin far wider than her face could allow. The shards seemed to echo with faint whispers, growing louder until they coalesced into her own voice, layered and distorted.
Let us in.
Then, in one fragment, she saw a flash of herself, not as she was now, but as she had been in the chair, teeth being replaced by something unnatural, the process searing itself into her memory like a scar. Naomi confronted Dr. Moreland the next day, entering the clinic with a determined stride. She pushed past the receptionist, ignoring the polite protests, and burst into his office without an appointment. Moreland sat behind his desk, serene and composed, his hands folded neatly in front of him as though he had been expecting her. His calm smile widened as their eyes met, the unsettling perfection of his teeth gleaming under the office lights.
"Ah, Naomi,"
he said smoothly, his voice laced with an eerie confidence.
"I was wondering when you'd come to see me."
What have you done to me?
She demanded.
To all of us.
He leaned back, his grin never faltering.
"You misunderstand. We've improved you. Teeth are more than tools for eating, Naomi. They're the seat of power, identity, vitality. By perfecting them, we've perfected you."
You've taken something from me.
She said, her voice shaking.
I'm not myself anymore.
Yourself?
Moreland's smile widened unnaturally.
Individuality is a small price to pay for greatness. Imagine a world where everyone's potential is unlocked. No more barriers of self-doubt. No more imperfections holding us back. This is evolution, Naomi.
Naomi's voice cracked as she screamed.
You can't do this.
She lunged at him, but her jaw locked mid-motion, her teeth snapping together with a force that made her ears ring. She collapsed to the floor, clutching her face as a wave of sharp, burning pain coursed through her skull. Her teeth moved, grinding and shifting like gears in a machine. A guttural laugh escaped Moreland's throat.
"The teeth choose, Naomi,"
he said.
"and they've chosen you."
As her consciousness faded, Naomi heard Moreland's voice growing distant, blending into the whispers that now filled her mind. Her thoughts fragmented, splintering like the glass she had shattered. When she opened her eyes, the world felt different. Her reflection smiled back at her, its perfection grotesque, its autonomy gone. Through her grin, a voice that was not her own murmured,
Together, we are one.
On screens across the globe, newscasters with dazzling smiles shared stories of Primadent's meteoric success. Testimonials rolled on, their uniformity a chilling reminder of the hive's reach. Naomi's face appeared among them, her smile radiant, her eyes vacant. The whispers had become a chorus, sweeping across continents. Perfection, it seemed, had claimed them all.
Join us at Primadent and unlock your true potential. Let us reshape you, perfect you, and make you one with us. Perfection isn't just a choice, it's inevitable. The teeth choose. Together, we are one.
Thank you for joining us on this chilling journey through teeth. The story reminds us how far we'll go to achieve perfection and the hidden costs that come with it. What did you think of Naomi's transformation? Could you sense the cracks forming beneath her flawless smile? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Your interpretations and theories always spark incredible discussions in our community. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tales that explore the darker sides of human nature. Until next time, keep an eye on what's behind the mask of perfection and be wary of the choices you make. You never know who or what might be choosing for you. This is the Haunt Vault. Stay curious, stay haunted,